Oh yes, welcome back to it, your feel-good breakfast show on a Monday morning. And of course, when you hear that song, you know it's time for us to talk all things tech. Now, in innovative news and in a first for the Southern Hemisphere, the South African Police Service have partnered up with Facebook to launch a new feature called Amber Alert, which will help communities participate in finding missing children. Wow, isn't that about time? And here to help us unpack this is, of course, our friend in all things tech, Brian Smith. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks.
What a breakthrough in tech. I feel like this is amazing. We always hear this in the US, but Amber Alert, the term Amber Alert, how does it relate? Let's start at the beginning. What does it mean for us in South Africa?
Sure. So I think many South Africans might be used to seeing alerts for missing children on Facebook or missing persons on Facebook. And that's usually what we call user-created. So these will be images, flyers that people create and circulate perhaps in specific groups or areas to try and isolate in specific networks, trying to find people who can help locate that missing person given their last reported location. However, that isn't unfortunately always reflective or accurate because it's difficult to track and keep updated as to what sort of the South African police services might know and be following on a case versus what the public might know. So what Amber Alerts are is actually an existing feature within Facebook, and it actually allows police services to create what are called dynamic content directly in Facebook that can be adjusted by the police services itself. So they can actually create a missing person's notice as a direct post on Facebook and update it as the police follow the case, and then that person is perhaps reported in different areas within a certain kilometer radius. So it can actually be updated to about 160 kilometers all the way down to about 30. So you can actually narrow down and alert people in a specific area if there happens to be a person reported missing there.
Yeah, for control purposes. Now, is it something that one has to, on Facebook now, follow or activate, or is it immediately available now that SAPS has introduced it to Southern Africa and partnered up with Facebook? Just take me through how that's going to work and how you expect it to actually help the process of finding missing children or missing individuals and how people get involved.
Absolutely. So unfortunately, this isn't actually something that someone can create, a user can create directly on Facebook. So perhaps it doesn't work on the same level of sharing perhaps a flyer or an image suggesting that there's a missing person. How this works instead is that this has to go through the South African police services. So that a case has to be opened with SAPS to create one of these Amber Alerts in the beginning. So once a person's created a case with SAPS, SAPS will actually load this up on the Facebook system, and within 10 minutes of a missing person being reported, they can actually create this dynamic piece of content which will be shared per location on users' phones. So as an end user, when you scroll Facebook and you enter an area in which there's been a person reported missing, you'll actually see this directly within your newsfeed to help keep alert and alert the SAPS itself if you happen to see that missing person.
What do you need in order to issue an Amber Alert?
So that's a great question. So as I said earlier, you'll have to go and report this directly to SAPS, and only a SAPS official can actually create one of these Amber Alerts. So what you'll need is a SAPS official to complete the SAPS 55A form, and what you'll need beyond that is, of course, a general description, a case, and you'll need to share with SAPS any flyers or sort of circulatories that you've put out onto the internet previously, as well as, of course, an image to help ordinary South Africans help locate that missing person out in the wider world.
Are there any stats showing how effective this Amber Alert system has been in countries like the United States?
Unfortunately, it's not something that's been a big area of study previously. However, what's really exciting is that this is the default go-to for police services, for example, in the United States, Canada, and the Northern Hemisphere. And it's really exciting here to be one of the first partnerships to actually use this technology that will update itself as we go and will help SAPS assist in these cases.
Can you imagine that, hey? Facebook helping to fight crime.
Something new every day.
Yeah, something
like
new
the sound
every
of
day.
that. Thanks again, of course, to Brian Smith. And be sure to keep up with the latest in tech news. And you can do that by visiting bandwidthblog.com.